Eee. Hi, sweetie. What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Destiny, and if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back to the family. This week's video is going to be a FAQ on sugar waxing. I uploaded a video on sugar waxing about 3 to 4 weeks ago, and that video literally blew the heck up. I thank you guys so much for all the love on that video. Because you guys had so many questions, I'm making this video. I'm going to be sharing 11 of the most frequently asked questions underneath that video that were in the comment section. A lot of them were repeated questions, so if you have a question that you think someone might have asked, just scroll through that comment section and you'll find it. I replied to as many people as I could. Literally, there's like over 200 of you. I tried my best. But because I'm only one person, I'm making this video, so if you have specific questions, let's see if they are answered in this video. So keep on watching. Let's just get right into this video. Get comfortable, get your water, get your phone, write down some notes because I'm about to teach y'all, okay? I have my matcha, I have my phone. Let's get into it. Okay, your first question. That wasn't right. So the first question you guys had was, if you don't have a thermometer, how do you know when it has reached the medium stage? Is the thermometer necessary? So without a thermometer, it can be hard to tell. You'd have to try your best to go based off the color of the sugar wax. So I can't tell you an approximate cooking time because depending on your altitude from sea level, that differs. So I can't tell you like 30 minutes, 45 minutes. You literally have to just watch over it, keep on whisking, and once you see that it turns an auburn color, like I explained in the last video, it should be ready. So just take it off the heat, put it to the side, let it cool for about 35 minutes, and try to see if it works. Just take a little bit of it, do a little test patch. If it's still really sticky and runny in your hands, that means it's undercooked, and if it's way too hard, it might just be overcooked. But if you don't have a thermometer, it is hard, so it's going to take a lot of trial and error, but it's not impossible. When I first started making my own sugar wax, I did not have a thermometer, and I ran into a lot of problems, even though I'm a licensed wax specialist. So it depends on the humidity in the room, how much water you put in it. Sometimes if you put too much water, too much lemon juice, it doesn't come out the same. There's like small little things that do make a difference in the sugar wax, so just be very specific with what you're doing. To answer the question if the thermometer is necessary, in my opinion it is. To save time overall, you're going to want to use a thermometer. It cuts the overall cooking time down since you'll know exactly when the sugar hits the right temperature, and you can always be sure of the kind of wax that you're making. So if you don't have a thermometer, it's going to be a little bit harder to tell if it's a soft, medium, or firm wax. With firm wax, it's really hard, so you'll be able to tell when it's firm, but if you want to get a true medium paste, which is usually what people go for, it's going to be a little bit harder. If you're worried about the price for the thermometer, I literally got mine off Amazon. I was not trying to spend more than $10 on a thermometer for sugaring, so honestly, it was very cheap. If you want to get the same one I did, I'll leave it down in the description box below. But just FYI, to get sugaring done at a salon, it's going to cost you a lot of money, and just buying these few things at a supermarket is going to cost you literally less than 10 bucks. So if you just buy the thermometer for another $10, that's literally like 20 bucks to sugar yourself for life. So it's not that bad in comparison, in my opinion. But yeah, that's on that. And the second question is, how many days can we keep this? So you can keep sugar wax weeks, even months on end. You just have to make sure that it's sealed in the proper container, like a Tupperware, a glass jar, anything like that, that has a proper lid on top so no type of air, bacteria can get in there and contaminate it. You also want to have it in a well ventilated space, and always use gloves when you use it. Please always use gloves if you use it. If you're using your hands, you're contaminating the entire jar of wax, and you're gonna have to just use it in one sitting. There's no way it's gonna keep on working if you are using your bare hands to go into the sugar, wax yourself, and then expect it to work again the next time you try to go in because it's already contaminated. So make sure that you're wearing gloves so that you don't contaminate it, and it'll be great for months. I've had a jar of sugar wax literally for like 3 to 4 months, and it worked like a charm the entire time. So just be very cautious about it, make sure that it's hygienic, and you'll be good to go. Third question, can you use regular lemons if you do not have lemon juice? Yes, you can. That's actually better. I just go for the lemon juice because you can get more for less money. But if lemon juice is not available where you are, you can literally use natural lemons. Just make sure that you strain them and don't get any seeds inside of the wax, which is, I think, common sense, but just for specifics, just make sure that you strain it. Alright, next question. How long until you see regrowth? So, this question is a little bit of a long answer. On your first try, you'll start to see regrowth within 2 to 3 weeks, and that is because your hair is going to be on different growth cycles. If you guys didn't know, your hair does grow in different growth cycles. It has different lifespans, and if you are shaving continuously, like if this is your first time waxing that frequently, you are going to get regrowth much quicker than a person that started waxing a while ago. And that is because when you're shaving down the hair to the surface of the skin, so on the outside you don't see anything, but that root of the hair is still clinging on to that follicle, so it's just the same hair regrowing over and over again, and it's not being taken out at the same time. So when you wax, you take out the entire hair root out of the follicle, and a whole new hair has to grow out. That's why over time, people that wax, their hair does thin out because they are taking the full hair out and forcing that follicle to make a new piece of hair, a new strand of hair. So once you start getting into waxing frequently, like once a month, it's going to start getting better, and you're going to start having longer results because you are allowing those hairs to fully grow out. FYI, if you shave between waxes, you're still messing up with your hair growth. If you shave between a wax, your next wax, not all the hairs are going to come out, and that's just the way it is. That's just that on that. I'm being serious. Do not shave between your waxes, and yes, your waxers know when you shave between your waxes. They know. Don't play yourself.
That's clown shit.
To make that answer short, how long until you'll see regrowth? If you don't wax, 2 to 3 weeks. If you do wax regularly, 3 to 4 weeks, sometimes 4 to 5, sometimes 5 to 6. Really depends on your skin and the way that your hair grows out. Next question. How long should the hair be? So the hair should be at least 1/4 of an inch long, like as long as a grain of rice. If it's any shorter than that, it's not worth it because 1, probably gonna hurt, 2, it's not gonna get all the hairs, and then it's just gonna throw off your hair growth cycle, so you don't wanna do that. If it's as long as a long grain of rice or longer, that is perfect. Just make sure it's not too long, because the longer that the hair is, the more it's gonna hurt because there's more hair to pull out of the follicle, obviously, but nonetheless, yeah, a long grain of rice. So I'll insert a little grain of rice here so that you guys can go based off of that. Can you use brown sugar? Technically, yes, you can. Technically, yes. If you do not have white granulated sugar where you live at all, I'd say use brown sugar. If you have granulated white sugar, you're just lazy to go out and get it, I say still go out and get it, because 1, it'll be way quicker to get it done because you'll be able to tell when the color changes. If you're starting with a dark base like brown sugar, it's going to be way harder to tell when it's done and what stage it's at when you're cooking it. So if you only have brown sugar, just make sure that you're really keeping an eye on it and that you have a thermometer. If you do not have a thermometer, it's going to take you forever to get the perfect consistency, and that's just me being honest. But you can try that yourself and let me know how it goes, but in my experience, it does not work out as quickly as just using straight up white granulated sugar. But technically, yes, you can use it. It's just gonna take a lot of trial and error, but it's not impossible. Next question. Is it safe for Brazilian/bikini waxing? Yes, it is. Sugar wax is safe to use on the full body, and it doesn't adhere to your skin as much as hard wax does and strip wax does. So if you have sensitive skin, sugar wax is a great alternative for you. Just make sure that you do not go over the same spot more than 2 to 3 times. Your skin is going to be sensitive, and it's a natural exfoliant, so you do not want to irritate the skin at all. But medium sugar specifically is the best for Brazilian and bikini waxing. Next question. Can you do it with the popsicle stick if you do not have any gloves? Yes, you can. You can apply the wax like regular hard wax is applied. Make sure that you're going in the opposite direction of the hair growth and flicking in the direction of the hair growth. Just make sure that you're using that stick properly, and if you are placing it on the skin, you're really going in there, flicking down, just like I did in the video with my finger. Pretend that the popsicle is your finger. Next question. Does this work for really thick hair? So I got this question a lot on that video as well, and answer is yes. If you have thick to coarse hair, I would recommend using a firm wax, especially if it's for bikini or Brazilian waxing, because you want to make sure that the hair does come off. So make sure that you're molding very well, holding the skin taut and flicking down. The most important thing about sugar waxing is not to hesitate when you flick, because it can get stuck if you hesitate. It can be great sugar wax, but if you hesitate, it's gonna get stuck. you're sweating, it's gonna get stuck. If you don't use powder, it's gonna get stuck. There's very specific ways to sugar wax properly, so just make sure that you follow my video to a T and you'll be fine. So yes, you can sugar wax thick hair with sugar wax. Just make sure it's a medium to firm sugar so that it really is taking off all those hairs. Next question. What do you do once you're done with it? How do you store it? So once you're done, say I just took a small ball off, right, and I sugared my underarms, let's say, right? It's not that much sugar that you need. Pretend this is sugar, right? I take my ball out. I have this much sugar left. I take my ball, I do my waxing, I close this, and the jar that I'm using is going to be sealed properly, placed in a cool space, not in a closet, not in a cabinet. It's going to get hot in there. You want to think shelf, countertop, on top of your dresser, stuff, places like that that get air, because if the sugar wax is too hot, it's going to start melting and you will not be able to use it. So you need to make sure it's regular room temperature. Yes? Cool. Next question. Do you need to warm it up each time you use it? No. So if you live in a cold area and the sugar is constantly hard because it's cold where you live, then yes, put it in the microwave for no longer than 30 seconds. And if it's still hard after the 30 seconds, keep on heating it up in 10-second increments. You do not want to burn the sugar in the microwave. But if you live in hot climates, sometimes putting it in the fridge can help. It will not work if it's too hot. It will definitely not work if it's too hot. If it's cold, it can be used. If it's cold, it literally can be used. I've done that before. I've used the cold wax, and because of my body temperature, it heats up while I'm using it. So don't be discouraged on using cold wax, but not for Brazilians, like not for sensitive areas like that. I mean, like my legs, my arms, stuff like that, your lip, stuff like that, you know? So that's all the questions that we had for today. I hope I answered majority of the questions that you guys already had. And if you have more, please feel free to leave them down in the comment section below. And by the time this video goes up, I would have already chosen my giveaway winner, and I'm just gonna pop their little Instagram right here on the side. At the time I'm filming this right now, I have no idea who it is, so I'm just gonna put it here and edit it once it comes in. But I am so happy that you entered the giveaway, and I'm so excited to send you all this stuff. So congratulations, and thank you for supporting me. But other than that is the end of today's video. If you guys enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to my channel. It definitely helps me continue to make content for you guys. While you're at it, make sure that you hit that little notification bell so that you're notified every single time I post a new video. And until next time, bye guys.